Sweet Georgia Pam. I can't sing. SweetGeorgiaPam.com is the website that you need to go to. Some free things on there for you for listening to the podcast. Plus, you can DM her on social media. Sweet Georgia Pam. She's everywhere. She's everywhere. And we're also on YouTube. So you can watch us on YouTube as well. This is, speaking of TikTok, because I know you're on TikTok. This is from TikTok. And this is, look, I'm going to give a shout out because I want to give everybody a shout out who submits their dreams, but user 981678. Okay.
Okay. All right.
Look, user 981678. I would change that to be a little more vanity, but you know what? You do you.
Yeah. Okay.
And so our user said that last night I dreamt about my 3 ex-husbands. I'm not sure what that means. Dreaming of exes, Pam.
Hooray. And 3 of them in the dream.
Wow.
That's layered.
But I love that she's 3 ex-husbands. So
yeah.
I don't know if it's a man or a woman, but I'm just saying that user 981678, I want to know how many husbands total you have.
Right. Is it 3 of 8 or 3
exactly.
of 3 or okay.
Yes. You go girl, go boy, whoever you are.
Dreamer. Okay.
Yes.
So dreaming of exes is not about getting back together with your ex. It does not mean you should then reach out to them the very next day and be like, hey, seems like we're destined to get back together. The universe wants us. No.
It was funny you said, because I said, but somebody may be thinking, oh my goodness, exactly that. But it's again, dreams are not literal.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. So what happens when you have an ex is an ex anything, an ex spouse or an ex intimate partner or an ex partner, whatever, is that there's some big life learning that you went through during that breakup or during that separation. And when that life lesson comes into play again in your waking life later, it might trigger a dream about your ex. Okay. So with breakups, doesn't matter the details of the breakup, doesn't matter who did the breaking up. Both people do some deep reflective inner work by default. If you don't, it's going to come back to haunt you in your dreams anyway, because then it'll come back to be like, it's time to do some deep reflective inner work about what you didn't acknowledge was happening when that relationship
It's
ended.
funny how those things keep coming at you. I don't know.
They're going to keep coming at you. Yeah. And if you refuse to look at your things, at your issues, it becomes stronger in the unconscious. So it can actually become a more prevalent dream or a more vivid dream experience, because you didn't allow your time to reflect on what you learned from that experience in real life. Okay. If I were dreamer 981678 and I dreamt of 3 exes in one dream, it might suggest to me that I would want to look at the role I played in all 3 situations.
Okay. Like a common factor or
what's the common factor, right? And how is that pattern, behavior, belief playing an important role in something in my life right now? Because your dreams are going, hey, this is an important lesson we've already reviewed. I mean, we've already learned. Let's review it so that you can make different choices now.
Well, I'm just saying, look, dreamer user 981678. I mean, you've had 3 ex-husbands. You know, I'm just saying that there may be some reflection, and there's no judgment here. It's a judgment-free zone, but you know that maybe there's some reflection, right? Hopefully that you can learn from those experiences, having gone through them.
So with dream work, here's the deal, and this is the deep, true stuff. This is the deep stuff. When somebody shares a dream, they're sharing a deep part of their, like a raw part of their psyche, an unfiltered part of their psyche. And so when I do dream work, I always step in as if it were mine, and then I own what I say about it, right? So I'm not saying that this particular individual needs to do this, that, or the other. I'm saying, if this were my experience, here's how I would take it. I would say, oh, all three of these exes are in a dream. So I, the dreamer, look like the common factor here. So what is it I'm not seeing about all of these three situations that's important in my life right now? Right? Because this is especially true with dream work. The dreamer is the only person that can interpret their dream. People do not want to hear that because they have no idea how to interpret their dreams.
Right.
And so it's this like a little bit of a catch-22 where I'm going to, as the dream expert, as a dream interpreter, I'm going to tell you all the things I would look at if it were my experience. And then you as the dreamer get to listen and go, oh, well, that rings true. That doesn't. That rings true. Wow, it's interesting you said that, because that lines up for me, or it doesn't line up for me. So the dream work process is not about me telling 981-678 what this dream means for them. It's about me exploring what it would mean if it were mine. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, it does. And you know, if you want to do the dream work, then you have to understand that you are the final say in what it means, right? And for a lot of people, like you said, there may be confusion on how to interpret it, but sometimes your dreams are trying to take you deep. And for people who aren't used to going deep, there's a responsibility there that you need to, especially if this dream keeps happening, right? But the other takeaway again is the fact that dreaming about exes is more symbolic than actual. So it's
Than
not
literal,
something
yes.
than literal that you shouldn't.
Yes.
You shouldn't either get hopeful or panicked when a dream or when an ex comes in your dream.
Yeah, it is telling you something, but it's not telling you the thing that you might think it's telling you when you wake up.
Right.
Right.
Yes. My thought is always, oh my God. Yes. My thought is always, oh my God, I still have feelings for them. Do I still have feelings?
Yes.
That's what I always wake up thinking with dread, like, oh no, if I not let this go.
Yes.
But there's something within that situation or something they've triggered or that triggered them in the dream rather that I haven't let go, obviously.
Right. Now there's something else too, that is really important to address, because this also always comes up when people dream of exes. And that is, are they going through something in their life that I'm picking up on? Okay. Am I supposed to call them? Are they okay? Or are they thinking about me? Do they want to get back together with me? And whatever feelings that brings up, yay or nay. So I want to talk about this. Oh, yeah, I do. We're going there. Okay. I want to talk about the possibility of our unconscious minds communicating with each other, the interconnectedness of all of it, the oneness of all of us, right? Of my grandmother going to the hospital and me suddenly waking up in the middle of the night going, what happened? You know, two totally disconnected, separate individuals experiencing something together. So this goes back to you, the dreamer, know the dream. You experienced it. I didn't. So you're going to bring some of your experience or some of your opinion with you into dream interpretation or into the work that we do together. And if for you, it is true that I dreamt about Steve and, you know, I believe that Steve needs me to reach out. Your dreams are from you, they're to you, and they're for you. All I want you to do is give them a little bit more credit than just being literal. Right. That makes sense. They can have that psychic component. They can have that prophetic component to them. But don't get drawn in, or don't be afraid of what they mean. Don't get drawn into like, oh, now we have to get back together because my dream, you know, they're not. They don't have that much power. They're just telling you a version of something that's going on. And
you say it's interesting. I did wake up in college in the middle of the night with like who's in the room when my grandmother died. So it's weird you said
You
that.
did?
I did. I really did.
I knew that.
Yeah, it was
Wow.
strange, very strange.
Wow. Yeah.
And she and
Yeah.
I didn't have a lot of contact with each other. So it's not like she was my best friend. It was,
Yeah.
but I remember thinking,
Yeah.
okay, that's sacred and special. So I appreciate, whatever that was that I
Yeah.
connected to her death. But
Yeah.
anyway,
Yeah.
that's another story for another time.
We
Sweet
went
Georgia
from exes to grandmas
I know,
today. Woohoo!
SweetGeorgiaPam.com is the website where you can find out all about Pam. You can sign up for her newsletter. You can sign up for sessions and 6 Nights to Better Dream Recall. That's a free downloadable guide that she has for you there at SweetGeorgiaPam.com. Also, social media, she's everywhere, Sweet Georgia Pam. And again, user 981678. I should have given you a nickname. I'm going to, I'm going to reach out to you and say, we need to change that name. I'm just kidding. No judgment. This is judgment-free zone. YouTube, if you're watching, you can leave a description in the comments of your dream and we might use it on a future show. So Pam, thank you so much as usual.
Absolutely. Sweet dreams, everybody.